face this question. When I was growing up, everybody, adults, my parents, my family, always would ask me, so what are you going to be when you grow up? And I had very colorful, imaginative, creative ideas of what I want to be when I was young. For example, when I was in elementary school, I wanted to be an astronomer, study stars and planets. And when I was a middle school freshman, I wanted to be an archaeologist, you know, dig up dinosaurs, fossils, or, you know, unravel ancient Egyptian mysteries and whatnot. So I was very creative. And then by the end of my middle school, I wanted to be a president. I was crazy enough to want to be a president, yes. I had no idea how, but I just wanted to be a president. But then things changed a little bit. I grew up a little bit when I entered high school, and in my freshman year in high school, I actually wanted to be a lawyer. But when I graduated my high school in 2008. That is almost 8 years ago. And when I graduated my high school, I was faced with the same question again. Who do you want to be? And to be honest, I had no idea. I couldn't really answer the question at all. So I started asking myself, what's my passion? What's my uniqueness? And what's my personality like? When people ask me about my personality, I had no idea. I would sometimes say, I'm a crazy person, and I had no idea what that meant either. So I understood that I had to find the answers for these questions. And furthermore, when I tried applying for colleges and when I tried applying for work, for internships, I was faced with the most difficult questions probably in my life, and that was, why should we choose you, and what makes you different? When you try to enter a college, you have to write an essay on why the university has to pick you. What makes you different? What makes you so unique that you deserve to study in such a good school or university? And when you're applying for a job, there are so many other applicants who are as brilliant as you, who has really good grades, who has really good skills, but then they ask you, then why should we pick you exactly? And at that time, I had no idea either. I just said, because I want to study in your university, or I wanted to work for you, but I didn't have any good reason. Well, and then so I realized I had to answer these questions, I had to find myself, but then again, I realized at home I couldn't really find answers to those questions because I'm with my family who makes me comfortable, who makes me feel special. And I knew that in my comfort zone, I really can't challenge myself and I can't really push myself to my limit where I can discover my new abilities and new dimensions. So I decided to go on a journey. I call it my self-discovery journey. And one of the motivational things was here. Distance is not for the fearful. It is for the bold. It is for those who are willing to spend a lot of time alone in exchange for a little time with the one they love. It is for those knowing a good thing when they see it, even if they don't see it nearly enough. And this was truly true for my experience because leaving home, leaving my family, I'm a very family-oriented person. I'm very close to my family, so leaving them and being away from them felt like a big part of me. I'm leaving a big part of me and who I am. So as you can see, my journey started in 2009, a year after I graduated my high school, and I'm still, in the process of my journey. I still haven't finished yet because I still haven't graduated yet, and including Mongolia, I did a study in 4 different countries, in 4 different universities, and 7 to 8 different majors. It's nothing to be proud of, and I don't advise it for anyone, because it took me that long to find myself. But I don't regret any of it. I don't regret going to these countries, changing my majors, because it was my way of trying to find myself, because nobody would find myself for me. So I had to understand myself. I had to understand what I wanted to do, not what I'm good at doing. I understood what kind of person I am, how I'm able to grow, what makes me motivated, what makes me depressed or sad or demotivated. And all that I had to learn and find out by myself. So the hard part of being away from family was, of course, I was very lonely. Sometimes I felt very lonely, even with there were so many people in the room, but somehow I felt alone. A lot of homesickness. I really missed my family. That was the hardest part. And I also had I didn't have guidance, where my mom, she's my hero, and because I take so much example from her, I didn't realize that she was kind of guiding every step of my life. And just for example, she helped me even to choose what clothes I should wear or what I should eat. So when I was away from her, I had to make all those choices for myself. And when I first arrived in Bulgaria, I didn't even know how to do my laundry. And I called my mom and was like, "Mom, how do you sort your laundry? Like, I have like this different colors of clothes. What do I do?" So, and no, I didn't have any reassurance. My family, again, was my biggest supporters. So my family was always there reassuring me, like, "You can do this, you're good enough, you're brave, you're beautiful." But then when those people weren't there, I had to find confidence in myself, and it was quite hard to find that. Again, I because of that, I made a lot of mistakes that I regret. I don't regret, but I had to learn. I made bad mistakes. I hung out with the wrong people, not bad people, but I just kind of hang out with the wrong people a lot who would give me bad examples. But in the process of doing like all those sacrifices and hardships, the rewarding parts were valuable relationships. Throughout all those relationships and experiences, I found that valuable people who brought out the best in me, who was my non-blood related family, and irreplaceable lifelong friends and colleagues, And there's a saying that a smart person learns from one's mistake, a wise person learns from others' mistake. And I progress into learning from others' mistakes rather than my own. And it's because meetings with so many different people in so many countries, it helped me to broaden my mind, my perspective. I started seeing things very differently. I was less judging. I was more giving. I kind of leaned towards being more kind and understanding rather than being like, "Why can't you do that? Why is it life like this?" Instead of asking why, I tried to make it better on my own self. And I started finding the reasons why instead of asking. And the most rewarding part was I found my life purpose. I found my passion. I did not find anything that I'm good at, but I found what I really wanted to do, what gives me energy, what sparks up my eyes, what makes me alive when I do it. And with that, I had peace with myself and with life. I was no longer anxious for the future. I was at peace. When I make mistakes, I wouldn't blame myself, feel guilty, and be like, "Yuki, why did you do it? Why are you so stupid?" Instead, I would be like, "It's okay. It was a mistake. I will learn from it. Maybe I'll do better next time." And then I realized how passion is very, very important. Having a passion and being a passionate person is the most attractive thing that I find in a person. When I talk to some of my students, I'm an English clinic TA, so I meet wonderful people, and then when I talk to them, I ask about their passion. And when they talk about their passion, their eyes light up, and they become so alive, and they become much more interesting people. They are just engulfed with their own ideas and ideals, and their passion is possibly one of the most attractive things I've ever seen in a person. So I learned to see people and how and what they're made of instead of how they look like. And I'm wondering if you guys have found, when I'm talking about my passion, I wonder if you guys have found your passion and your purpose of life. that magic in your life and within you. If you haven't, start looking. It's never late to find your passion and your dream and yourself. And at the same time, it will never be enough. You will never. There will never be a point where like, oh, I found myself now. I'm done. It's a life process. And one of my favorite authors, Haruki Murakami, he wrote wonderful novels. I'm pretty sure you all are familiar with him. And he actually said that he started writing novels when he was 30. That's where he found his passion. That's where he found his magic. That's what made him unique and special. So, yeah, he said, I was running a jazz club and I didn't create anything at all. I was just an ordinary person. But then when I started writing my novels, I started doing magic, and it was a miracle for me. Have you guys seen the movie Blind Side? Is there anyone who watched the movie Blind Side? You did? Okay. If you haven't, I strongly recommend you because it's about this ordinary person. He was an orphan, not an orphan, but he was alone. He was poor. He was hungry. He had nowhere to go. And then this kind family kind of adopted him, and that helped him to become a very, very famous, rich American football player. And he once said, "Don't ever allow yourself to feel trapped by your choices. Take a look at yourself. You're a unique person, created for a specific purpose. Your gifts matter. Your story matters. Your dream matters. You matter." So anytime an adult or someone older than you tells you not to pursue your dreams or to think whether your future career will help you make money, think again. Think again whether what you're doing, what you're going for, is what you really want to do, and that will make you better, and if that will make you happy, not others happy. And that is very important. That's what I learned from finding myself. And through understanding myself and realizing my dreams, I started helping others to realize their dreams and understand themselves too. So you will make very positive changes, not in your life, but not only in your life, but others' lives too, by trying to find yourself, what's within you, that little fire in you. And So also people say like, oh, I don't know how I will achieve my dreams because it's a dream or it's a goal. It's very hard. Well, it took me 8 years to get my bachelor's diploma, guys. And as long as you know where you're gonna be, where you want to end up, it really doesn't matter how you will get there. You can get there like straight. You can take some detours and get there, or you can take a different path and then come later back to your original destination. And it's really not important how or how long it takes. It's really important that you achieve it and that makes you happy. And Henry David Thoreau also said, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important what you become by achieving your goals. So meaning, it's not important what you get, but who you become. And as I said, my 8 years of journey, my hardships and endurance, my fight, it was never easy. But at the same time, it was not devastating. It built me up. And throughout these years, when I look back at it, there are times when I want to cry, or there are times when I want to kick myself. There are times when I am proud of myself. But right now, when I evaluate myself, I'm actually starting to like who I'm becoming. And I value myself more. I have my self-worth. And that's not like an ego pride, boasting, but it's more like what I can do. And when a person gives me a negative comment or a negative attitude, that doesn't always break me or hurt me anymore, because inside I know who I am and where I want to be, what I want to do. And little setbacks like maybe not getting a satisfactory in my class, or trying and failing does not no longer discourage me completely from what I want to do the most, or where I want to become, what I want to become. But is this the end of my journey? Like after graduating, will I be done? No. This is just my beginning of my self-discovery. I kind of like found my center, which means I now can stand on my both feet without losing my balance. But at the same time, this is just the beginning. I have so much more to learn, so much more to go, to see, to experience, and again, it's a lifelong journey that I started, and I'm looking forward to, answering more questions and being able to understand myself more of who I am. So, in the end, I want to ask you, and you, when will you begin that long journey to yourself? And if you haven't found your passion, if you haven't envisioned your final destination and goals and dreams, go find yourself. Go find yourself. Go find your dreams. Go for it. Nothing's stopping you as long as you're passionate and you believe in yourself. So thank you for listening. I hope it helped. And this is my story.